Depression got me and I was lonely. I turned on the PlayStation and here I am again. Here I was again. And that is high FPS. And I was again. Here I was again. I was lonely. That's really weird.
Liquid Richard is like the generic knockoff of like a Rolex watch. Nobody really wants the generic knockoff of a Rolex watch. This guy goes out.
Damn, high FPS today. How does the dick taste, my friend? How does it taste? How does it taste, my friend? When I hop in the lobby, there's nothing but a body.
Big ups, Liquid Richard.
Pick up the new album, Carrie Diamond.
Come on. This is
Get this Richard Pepsi out.
with the
BBC. I have a brown cock, so I have a big black cock too. A big brown cock.
peanut butter complexion stallion. This dude's going straight.
Big old country boy.
I'll be that monkey.
How are you, fat man in my phone? You play Rainbow Six Siege all day when I'm home. All day when I'm home. You are, 'cause you shine so bright. You look like the sun, even in the middle of the night.
This is America. Money is to be made and spent. Bend me over. Bend me over.
I'm gonna have to make a new account if I want to get into Halo Infinite because my brother won't tell me the password.
Fucking sense.
I know he's lying to me. He knows what it is.
Visualize me in a bed, nigga. Visualize me in a bed. Mouth wide open and cheeks spread. Spread his cheeks. I'm a working motherfucker. I represent new age blacks. Can't believe that you just asked. Please go jack off.
How are you?
Fat man in my phone. You play Rainbow Six Siege all day when I'm home.
All day when I'm home. All day when
Yeah, it doesn't let me make a new fucking account, and I can't really. It's so annoying.
you look like the sun, even in the middle of the night.
Oh my god, it's so annoying. I just want to play
I should
it.
be doing this. I gotta play all day slay. All day slay. Fireman Candor, can you
So I
please
made this
be
texture
bold?
myself.
Shout out Big cheese. Fuck Kiwi Farms.
So that's good.
I'm going back for brandy. Got black, Kenny, Bacon, Prozac, Kenny, Bacon, Prozac. Black people, black, brandy. Black people, black.
Yeah, normal mats aren't good.
I'm going back. Don't criticize what I'm doing on the screen. Food, that's just more gas
Take
for
for
the
the
love
machine.
machine. For the love machine.
How are you, fat man in my phone? You play Rainbow Six Siege all day when I'm home.
All day
When I'm home. I know who you are, 'cause you shine so bright. You look like the sun.
even in the middle of the night.
Oh, that doesn't help.
Time when you are.
Carrie Diamond. Real talk.
You look like the sun.
New album in May. Shout out Sean Franklin.
I know there's gonna be a lot of people out there calling me a bully. Well, guess what? I'm not. I just don't feel sorry for fat fucking people, especially fat fucks who sit there all day, gorge and eat, and make money for doing absolutely nothing, while a bunch of sorry fucks like yourself play into it. You don't like what the fuck I'm saying? Then fuck you.
Alright. God damn it. Oh, come Cuzzler. The soundtrack's actually good so far. That looks better. It's probably the best I'll get. So it also has colorization. Yeah, so if I made my own colorization map, I could change the colors, but let's save that. see what its animations look like. I can hear a lot of the ARK soundtrack in this. Wait, is it? No, I didn't even import that. Alright, so...
As a note, today's video contains discussion about the leaking of the Halo Infinite campaign. However, I do not mention any spoilers in this video, nor do I discuss how to view or access the leaks. This video is meant mostly as
a 20-minute long sex scene of Chief and Cortana.
a warning for those trying to avoid spoilers for the first Halo game in 6 years, and if you watch this video, please be courteous and do not leak or spoil the game for anyone who does not want to be spoiled. Roll the intro. Hey guys, this is ARK Modding. Hello and welcome to another video. And this one's going to be kind of short, and it's also a second upload for today because honestly, I just need to warn you guys about something that's going on in the community, especially if you're a hardcore Halo fan who's been waiting 6 years for Halo Infinite. So, as many of you know, Halo Infinite is currently running a technical test. From my understanding, there are a few 100,000 people invited. I unfortunately was not, which was heartbreaking because I was invited to all the other flights. That's a discussion for another day. But basically, this was to stress and load test various portions of the game, to do bug testing, not a traditional beta or anything like that, not really meant for player fun, but still a good way for people to get their hands on the game for the first time. By the way, the footage that I'm including here is from my friend Evil Coleslaw, so shout out to him for letting me use this. Anyway, a lot of you can probably predict what happened next because this is a tale as old as time, or at least as old as modern video games. Whenever a major video game or even piece of software releases, especially when it releases on PC, people will dig through the files to find anything unintentionally left within. In this case, well, there was a lot more than I think even anybody would have expected. Now, as I mentioned, I'm not going to go into any specifics here. This is more of a warning, but I will say that major portions of the game's story, perhaps up until the very ending, have been leaked, as have details related to other game modes and more. And there's a reason why I'm being a little bit careful here, not just because I don't want to spoil people and this video is more about a warning, but because Microsoft could potentially DMCA people who are sharing this information. Now, I think that's a bit tricky. The way that most of this is leaked and the way this traditionally happens is fragments, whether of text or audio file, are inadvertently left within the game, or the tech demo in this case, and they're pulled out, and if you use the right software, whatever else, you can either read the text or listen to the audio, or sometimes even see videos or animation or models or whatever else. Like, you'll see sometimes that people can pull out unused flood models from the old Halo games or unused enemies. Now, I don't think there was anything to that extent leaked. It seems to be most of what was found was text with some audio, as I mentioned. Now, my understanding of DMCA law is that I can discuss pretty much anything. I'm not under contract with 343. There's no law that prevents talking about things. Where you do get in trouble, at least from my understanding, is if you're copying the source material directly, if you're sharing that, because that is copyrighted content. Either way, I'm not doing it and I'm not offering legal advice to anybody. I would recommend you don't share these. That's all I'm going to say, but yeah. So one thing that you'll hear is that, oh, these are just 4chan rumors, or this just comes from people making things up, and that's not the case. As is, frequently the situation, many of these leaks were discussed on 4chan, but as Joe Staten himself said, hey folks, we have unintentionally included a small number of Halo Infinite campaign files in the tech preview build. Unfortunately, these files contain spoilers. Leaks like this are painful for the dev team and can ruin the campaign experience for everyone, so please keep your eye peeled for spoilers and don't spread them if you see them. And Joe's right, this is a really unfortunate situation. I've sort of talked about how people will inadvertently be spoiled because of this, people who've been waiting 6 years, but I do feel really bad for 343. This was a mess up, but these things happen, and we've heard before about how leaks really take the wind out of the sails of game companies and upcoming games, and how they really hurt dev teams who've been working to make this thing for 6 years and who want players to experience it as it was meant, not on some message board on the internet. And this has happened a ton of times. Half-Life 2 was very infamously leaked, which was a huge deal back then. And in a time where games are routinely released in unfinished states, whether for tech demos or whatever else, and these games are also routinely poked at and prodded by...
Okay, that's really... Here, I'll check and see on... Nobody's watching. Yeah, nobody's watching. No one's interested in ARK Modding Stream 100. Nobody is. Why the hell can't I just... Fuck, man. In the Halo Infinite campaign... Now, I hope I don't run into spoilers. But unfortunately, that was revealed to some. In the Halo Infinite campaign, Master Chief visits a McDonald's run by banished staff. I wish I.
Welcome back, Halo followers. Today, I want to share my honest thoughts and reactions to Halo Infinite. Hello. That works, obviously.
Ah, shit. That did not go the way I expected it to.
And it's probably going to be a little bit controversial. But firstly, I need to give out a disclaimer. I understand completely that this is not a beta, although I've been calling it a beta lately. I understand that, 343 explained a little bit more, and it kind of clicked. But they're kind of doing this a technical preview to preview the technology, right? It is a stress test, but I do feel like there is a lot of value in going beyond that. And I don't think they would have shared this so widely if they didn't want some kind of feedback to the game itself.
gotta be
But the
kidding
thing
me.
that I want to point out here is, obviously, it is a technical preview. They knew from the get-go that there was going to be a lot of issues. And with that being said, it makes sense that we're seeing so many issues. This is the point of any kind of pre-launch test, is that they're supposed to iron out bugs and see unforeseen things, as well as to stress test the server so they know what to expect on day one. And it's a huge benefit to every game. And so I see people from extremes of saying that the game is all bad and it's terrible and it's off to a rough start, and that the game is perfect, that this is exactly what Halo fans want, it's exactly what they want, and that everything is going to go over smoothly. And people are viciously attacking one another, saying that, no, you don't understand, this game is great, this is what we've asked for, this is everything that we want. And then in the same breath, they say that you haven't even played the whole game. How can you possibly say that the game is perfect and this is exactly what you want and everyone else wants, and this is what is right for Halo, if you haven't played the entire game? Do you get my point here? It's really, really hard for most people, I think, to reserve judgment and to actually saying that the game is perfect is the other extreme, right? But you have to try really hard here, and I think we all have to try really hard here, is to reserve judgment. And the next part I want to add to that is criticize, all right? You should be able to give feedback without being torn to pieces. And that is something that I'm not really afraid to do on the channel. I am not afraid to criticize this game because I know it's going to be helpful. That is the point of any beta. A side benefit to the developers is to give them feedback. This is what they want. I don't think they would have given out to hundreds of thousands of people if they were just trying to test servers. Maybe they were, but whatever. I want to be a part of helping develop this game. Even if it's super small, and even if 343 just rolls over my personal feedback, my feedback is as important as anyone else's. So I think that we should be able to voice our opinions and be able to do it in a way where we're not tearing each other to pieces. And I think there are so many different understandings of what this is, but I'm just here to tell you that what I think this all is a test. We're supposed to be able to criticize. I mean, when you make any kind of movie, what are playtesters there for? To give feedback. What are we here for? What are Halo Insiders here for? To give feedback. We are not strictly just drones to use our PC power to test their servers. There is a side benefit that 343 will greatly be able to benefit to the game if we are not afraid to give feedback about the game. And that goes with both ways. I don't really think people should say that this game is perfect because we haven't seen everything. The game could have some very big issues later on, and we could be playing something that is a little bit different. Betas have been known to have content that will eventually be cut and drastically change for the worse by launch. And the opposite is true. So don't say that the game is perfect or completely terrible and this is going to be a disaster. And it's really hard to do that to reserve judgment, but I feel like I just needed to share that disclaimer first. I know it's taken up quite a big chunk of the video so far, but I just wanted to set the record straight, at least for me. Maybe no one cares, but I just wanted to express myself.
Looks
here,
like I'm
that
gonna have to
really
edit all these
I'm
animations.
bothered, honestly, just because people are already making up their minds completely, and they think that they're rational because they're doing the opposite of that. I'm saying that, it's completely good or completely bad. I think it's in the gray area. We haven't seen everything. There's a lot of things to potentially be worried about, but there's also a lot of things to be excited about. Now, with that being said, I want to get into my personal thoughts and reaction to this. And based on gameplay that I've had so far a pretty good experience. Obviously, the game is when you do get into a match, I don't think there's really been that many glaring issues. And I kind of understand it still feels like a 3-4-3 game. And there are certainly a lot of comparisons that you could make between this Halo Infinite and Halo 5 Guardians, you know, with the vibe and the feel of the multiplayer maps as well as the gameplay itself. And actually, it feels a little bit like Destiny, too. It feels a little bit like the PvP modes in Destiny. My big concern here is that I feel like there needs to be a bit of an accent. Again, I did just do a 5-minute disclaimer, so I feel like I might be triggering some people right now, but I feel like there should be a bit of more of an accent to the game. And what I mean by that, I feel like there should be more equipment, much more equipment, and I'm actually including things like the power drain, and that power drains, the bubble shield, the regeneration field, as well as completely new equipment like what we saw in Halo 3, but completely new spins on those things, I think would be really cool. All the equipment in Halo 3 did a great job of really being able to balance the game well, because a power drain can backfire pretty easily. A bubble shield can backfire pretty easily in Halo 3. It can benefit your team, or it could screw you over in the end if you don't use it right. And same thing with the regeneration field. It heals anyone nearby. Now, I had a lot of fun with the equipment. The grappling shot felt actually very organic. And can I just say that they pretty much saved Halo by making these armor pickups, these like the grappling shot and stuff, these wrist attachments, by making them pickups. That is absolutely essential. And I felt like that Halo has, for the first time in a long time, properly and truly has expanded. And in a way that has evolved organically with the game. And Halo Reach really screwed up by making armor abilities inherent to the
Hold on. do 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 do. Oh, that hair looks so good.
Player and making loadouts. That really it ruined the opportunity not only of the armor abilities being on the map, but just using them in the gameplay created kind of a weird, inconsistent experience that I just really was not super fond of. I love Halo Reach, but it was just, I don't know, I feel like it would have been more fun if there were
Hank,
pickups, if all the
what are you
armor
doing?
abilities were just pickups on maps, creating asymmetric advantages based on your ability to get there first, ability to win over armor abilities, for example. Same thing with the rocket launcher. Rocket launcher has to be fought over. It's usually in a very vulnerable area, and I feel like armor ability should be the same way. Here, I had a great time with the grappling hook,
Hank,
and I
what are
felt
you
like it gave
doing?
me a great advantage. Being able to jump
Hank?
around the corners of unsuspecting bots,
Hank,
perhaps.
you're not
maybe
allowed
they were
to.
unsuspecting
You're not
other
allowed to be a
bots.
human. You can't.
It created
you
like
can't
this. I can just
stand.
imagine that the advantage is pretty profound when you think about it. If you're
Good.
chasing down a player, you can jump with that grappling hook and kill them off if they try to escape from you. And I like that. I like being able to navigate the map. It has its own disadvantages, but I want to see things that will be placed on the
gonna
map,
be
like
here.
that shield wall thing. I keep forgetting what it's called. I love that ability a lot. And I'm curious about how it works. I mean, I'm curious about how it's going to work in PvP. And it's just really cool. You know, players can get around that thing and then use it against the player that placed it there, honestly. So kind of using, it's kind of like the bubble shield a little bit, but I do appreciate that. All the weapons felt great. Weapons felt solid and complete and sharpened. They felt finished. And the UI feels very fleshed out. It feels complete as well. It feels like why the experience here is arcadic. It feels finished. It feels mostly wrapped up. Now, there's probably going to be a lot of things I wish I said in the video after I made this as I did with my last one. But I love the art style. It rhymes a little bit too much with Halo 5's facilities and metal structures. I'm just over that, and I'm tired of it. So I'm excited to see Bazaar, which is a map that should be coming in this technical preview at some point today or tomorrow, but I am eager to play something that is not a big metal box. I feel like the maps are so boxy, and I miss Halo 3's maps a lot because while they did play in a boxy-like fashion, the models were very often had a lot of angles and verticality to them and asymmetricalness to them that I feel like really made the map more open and just felt better. Maybe a minor complaint because effectively the gameplay is still the same, but I'm tired of playing in a metal box. I think Halo gameplay to me is
What are you even
is
looking
playing in
at?
Halo environments, not just more UNSC facilities. I am so over facilities and playing in a metal box or around metal boxes. I just want to see, like, the Bazaar is at New Mombasa. That is cool. That's something that we haven't seen a whole lot in recent Halo games. I want to play on the actual Zeta Halo ring. I see playing in Halo, maybe a minor complaint because effectively the gameplay is still the same, but I'm tired of playing in a metal box. I think Halo gameplay to me is playing in Halo environments, not just more UNSC facilities. I am so over facilities and playing in a metal box or around metal boxes. I just want to see, like, the Bazaar is at New Mombasa. That is cool. That's something that we haven't seen a whole lot in recent Halo games. I want to play on the actual Zeta Halo ring. I want to play with more Forerunner structures. And I get it, there's only 2 maps, but I really hope that the roster maps that we're going to see in the final game are not just a bunch of metal boxes, because it gets boring really, really fast, in my opinion, and I'm just over it. The textures and models, I do like the art style overall, but they look a little bit chalky. It's got kind of like this, I still feel like Halo 3 had something that made it look better, even stands up to today. All the maps in Halo 3 had soul, and these maps just feel like they were just chalked up for what plays like in an esports fashion the best. And maybe that's a good way, but there's something about the spirit of Halo 3, Halo 2, and even Halo 1 maps that I just haven't seen with Halo 4 and Halo 5. It just doesn't have soul in them. And I was hoping that maybe I was wrong, but I will say this about the maps, after playing them a few times, that they do play well, that the layout of the maps are good, and if that's the case, then they're probably going to all play very
Alright,
well.
so let's
You know,
go
they're
back
all
to
made by the
Blender,
same
I
team,
think.
groups or team or whatever. But with that being said, I am overall eager to look at this more. Again, I know this is a technical preview, but I do not
And
think
then I'll
that
make a
us
new
fans
file.
should be barred from criticizing from this game, as well as I don't think, in the same breath I'm going to say this, I don't think we should be saying the game is perfect. It's okay to be excited and hyped and optimistic about this and enthusiastic about what we see. I'm enthusiastic about what we've seen. It does feel a little bit too much like Halo 5 to me, and as I made a video, maybe it's up or not, I don't know, but Sprint is more or less a useless feature, which I'm actually okay with. It gives people their cake and they can eat it too. It literally makes you about 3% faster, we just found out. Thankfully, someone actually recorded it side by side running, and someone walking, and it's virtually the same speed. It's about a 2% increase, which I find interesting. But overall, the game is obviously incomplete, and I'm a little bit nervous about what they were actually going to. I guess I shouldn't be actively nervous, but I just kind of dread what they were going to give us last year, because apparently the game is still, you know, they're still shuffling around trying to get things done and really, you know, wrapping things up, you know. And maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe this very, very final stages in the game is mostly complete, but I feel like they have a lot to learn still about maybe just how to do this kind of thing. But that's fine. That's the point of the technical preview. People are saying that this is a rough start, but this is the first. I mean, how can you be so entitled to say that, like, that this is broken, that the game is broken, it's not going to launch right? That's the point of a beta or technical preview, as they're calling it, because it's more focused on testing the servers and stuff like that. But I don't know. I mean, they gave us a bunch of weapons for a reason. If we were just testing servers, they would have just gave us the Magnum, and that would have been it. If they were just testing the bots, you know what I'm saying? If they could have just gave us sculpts of this map, all right? If it was just about dedicated servers, they wanted to give us a little look as to what they're working on and how the game feels, right? So with that being said, final closing thoughts. 343, you did a great job here. There's still some things to iron out. I like the idea of making the game feel like Reach, as well as taking...
All right.
Ah, this is annoying. Alright, let's do the idol first. Oh, it's not even... Oh, there we go. No object... What? Oh, for fuck's sakes. None of it exported correctly because there's no space on my normal drive. My god, I fucking hate this.
Got involved. And this isn't the dastardly work of Clyde Cash. Hey guys, Dylan here, and today we are covering Chris Chan yet again, and it seems like we are in the final chapter. It seems like
I'll
we are
export
in
it
the
again.
final act of the Chris Chan saga. I don't know if Christery will be able to continue or if anyone will want to continue it after what has happened recently. As you can see with this Reddit post here, there are some leaked messages between Chris and the trolls. And normally this would just be some stupid fucking new ween shit, but unfortunately it's something really serious. That being that Chris Chan has been sleeping with his mom, and I'm not meaning in the he comforted her way, I mean in the he plowed her way. So we're gonna read all these troll DMs, and just know that these are real. Just going ahead and sharing this with you, fresh experience on the strictly confidential just between you and I. So yes, Barb and I just had another romp in the hay and extensive cuddle. Tonight, I started looking into a more consistent pattern to my messaging and to my massaging. Sorry, it's a bit hard to read with how blurry it is. And I took the input and focused on getting blood flow into the groin area. Yes, he did actually just fucking say that to someone. Before tonight, I did not really have a set pattern in the massage, aside from the feet and legs. I followed by hands and arms, the face, front torso, and then roll over to her back. I have found more consistent method that works between the legs and arms, but I was inconsistent in the hands and feet anyway. I also made another attempt at rubbing her vagina. Extremely, externally at first, then slipping in between the lips and rubbing her inner labia. Then she told me to stop. Yes, he actually fucking says that his mom told him to stop, that she didn't want it, that she was not consenting. She's getting more used to being played with down there by hand. By the way, she is so old and defenseless that she probably couldn't stop Chris if he did decide to put advances on her. Would you believe she has literally never ever masturbated in her entire life, considering how old she was and how frowned upon it was when she was a kid? Yes, I can believe that.
Oh my god.
And obviously, those out of 8 guys, counting Robert Chu, and yes, he is referring to his dead father by the Sonichu name that he gave him, before me, were not hitting her G-spot as much with their cocks. I had attempted the first night to rub her in there. I found her spot, but it hurt her. Of course it would. But alternatively, I did find that cunnilingus I was good at with my tongue. And I did also stimulate her clit. That does not seem to hurt her as much. But she still has a limit with that spot as well. Anyway, we're making progress, if that's what you want to call this. And when we cuddle, and this actually impressed me more, I literally feel our souls bonding and coming together as one during that time. Damn, it feels so... where does that continue at? These are screen cropped terribly. Damn, it feels so good when that happens. And we talk a good while, as before she heads back upstairs. I have been sending her meditation tracks to stimulate her brain and bring back some of her youth, and the results do show most splendidly. I am so proud of her, and from her stories she told me tonight, she even remembered a fun story that involved her daddy from when she was... 2 years old. 2 years old. That in itself at her age is massively good. She has had memory problems at the time beforehand, hinting that she might have dementia. I know a lot of people say that she does have dementia. As far as I'm aware, it is not confirmed. It is just speculated. Yes, she is being better stimulated in her mind and soul. And it really shows. Her mental progress... Her mental processing speed is even going back up, which that's not how you cure something like dementia. She feels this and has told me so herself. You can't trust someone when they are like that. Where is the rest of this? And I am so happy and content that I am able to help her out like this. Yes, you're helping her out. Continue to tell yourself that. And it helps me as well, because of all the experience and the education I am learning. Now, this goes all the way back to Christian saying that he feels like moms and sons should fuck years ago, saying that if a son needs a sexual experience, a parent would teach it to him a lot better. This is straight out of a terrible fucking porno, and Christian has tricked himself into believing that this is life, because people have humored him long enough to where he feels like he can do this, to where he can get away with this, and that people will have to accept him. Mostly because of his LGBT identity, where he feels like that morals don't really matter anymore, and that he can get away with any type of depraved shit and claim pride over it. It's really disgusting what the internet has done to Christian. Now we go over to the Kiwi Farms where Noel talks about what is going on, and this is kind of where I was at yesterday. I knew that trolls were leaking stuff about Chris, but I didn't realize how bad it was. I thought it was all part of some troll op. Let's read what Noel had to say that changed my mind on how things went down. They are considered genuine. Nobody knew of this except one person named Bella, a troll Sona of someone called 10th Anonymous, who Chris confided this information in. Early this morning, Greene County Police visited the Chandler residence for a wellness check, and that's where shit got real for me, when the government is getting involved. Just now, Chris was served an emergency protective order until August 5th. He is not allowed at his house until then. He is also not allowed to contact his mother at all. Barbara is at a hospital for senior care inspection. And this is where it all hit me, that this is very real. The police got involved, the government got involved, doctors got involved. And this isn't the dastardly work of Clyde Cash. This is a real thing that happened. And Christian really did this. I had reached out to Chris Chan beforehand, and I'm going to share my DMs with you in a minute about what Chris Chan had told me. But just know that I thought that this was the work of a troll up until Noel made this post. Chris had some place to sleep. I will be disturbing... Chris has some place to sleep. I will be dispersing the remainder of the GoFundMe money to him to cover emergency expenses, as promised, and legally obligated of me. Which is nice of him, because in these matters, you would expect someone to be more petty. He tries to talk about how incest is a Class 1 misdemeanor. He was wrong. It's apparently a Class 5 felony when it's mother and son. Class 5 felonies are wobbler crimes that can either a felony or a misdemeanor, depending on how the crime is charged and sometimes how the judge or jury decides to treat a conviction, which, seeing how it's being played out and who it's between and how it went down, I don't think that they'd be on Chris's side. Class 5 felonies in Virginia are punishable by 1 to 10 years in prison when the conviction is a felony, or up to 12 months in jail and a fine of $2,500. That's the misdemeanor. Now we need to cut over to my Twitter, because I decided to talk about this. After I saw Noel's post, I decided to go public about my conversation with Chris Chan, and I'll read my post first. I told Chris I wouldn't make this info public, but it's eating away at me. I know that he will not trust me after this, but I do not care. I asked Chris if he fucked his mom earlier, and he said it was true. He then claimed it was part of a test, but I don't want to pass if passing means doing shit like this, and I don't want to play dumb when people keep asking me if I know what's going on. I'm sorry, Chris, but you shouldn't have done this or said this shit. And now let's read our DMs. I share him the video, and I said, Chris, I know I hardly ever hit you up, but I feel that this needs explaining. Can you tell me what this is? And he answers me with some magical girl fucking bullshit. Keep faith and distance yourself from drama and chaos going on today. Know that the remaining bad
Hank, what are you on
vibrations
about?
of the world are being sorted and weeded out today. A detail that fell in the wrongest of hands can light the paths of good, intentioned, and light-powered individuals. I said, Chris, did you do it? Yes or no? Because I didn't want to deal with this magical girl bullshit or try to fucking get a message from that when I just want to know if he fucked his mom or not. And I said, I've been cool with you and have tried to treat you like a normal person, unlike most people in the community who either coddle him or abuse him. I think that you can at least return the favor with me by giving me an actual response. I'm going to have to talk about this, and it would help if you could explain this to me. And I was really hoping, and I know not everyone's gonna believe this, but I was really hoping he'd tell me it's a troll. I was really hoping that he would tell me that it's the dastardly work of the Idea Guy 2 Electric Boogaloo. But that's not the answer I got. I got the answer I didn't want. I am not at liberty to discuss about this, and I ask you please, Dylan, do not drag yourself into this drama as well. This is a test of remaining weeded out toxic individuals who would take advantage of such details. You and Taylor are stronger and better than this. And I said, it bothers me that you can't say yes or no, Chris. I know the audio was messed with, which at the time I had only heard the tampered with audio, not the full audio that I will be playing at the end of this stream. But now I know that there is untampered audio. It's still not the whole recording, but once I heard what was cut out, God. I'm sorry that you guys have to hear that too. I just want to know if it's true. And then he finally cuts the bullshit and tells me, I will trust you with a simple answer. Then I ask both, please do not screen cap or share this simple answer. Yes, this is my test for you both as well. Please prove me right. And I told him I wouldn't screen cap it. And I know that's become a meme, that he told me to do one thing, and I couldn't do it. But I asked you guys to put yourself in my shoes. When you deal with Chris Chan for so long, you're used to it being a troll op. You're used to it being a joke. You're used to it being manipulated. People tried to expose him for being a pedo, which wasn't true. People tried to expose him for hitting his mom after they got him to hit his mom. People have tried to expose him for a lot of things and tried to set him up for a lot of things. So it was perfectly understandable for me to think that this was yet again another masterful op, and that the real culprit would be revealed soon. But once I saw what Noel posted, I knew that that wasn't the case. Once I saw that the authorities were involved, and doctors were involved, and Chris was kicked out of his house, I knew that this information needed to come to the public. I knew that it wasn't the work of some masterful troll. Chris fucked his mom, and there was just no excusing it. There's no beating around the bush. There's no lying. I know a lot of people are saying allegedly. A lot of people are giving Chris the benefit of doubt and trying to cover themselves legally. I've put my neck out for a lot of things, and I've put my neck out for a lot of situations involving Chris. I'm willing to say that he did it. I'm willing to be held legally liable and say that he did it. Well, let's continue with the Noel updates. Noel continues on to post, Chris intended to stay with an extended family member. They rescinded the invitation. It's going to take 3 days for the GoFundMe money to transfer at the latest. He can't afford a hotel until it settles. And then here's some more updates. Update 1, Chris has a hotel. Update 2, I have stopped my payments to Chris and asked GoFundMe to return to all donors, and you're going to find out why right now. This is the last post I'm going to be able to make with any privileged information. Chris gave me access to his emails years ago to help out a while back during the Joshua Wise situation, which is the whole idea guy shit. I had access since. Chris is aware that I have access to his emails, and after changing his passwords, recently gave me access to them again. I have helped him deal with trolls, signing him up for spam and newsletters and other things like that. I was going to send Chris the GoFundMe money, but after talking it over and sleeping on it, I canceled the payment, and I asked GoFundMe for a total refund. And we'll look at that in a second. I told Chris last night to spend one night sleeping in his vehicle, and that this morning I would help him figure out a way to have a roof over his head until August 5th. I suggested that he take some time under the stars and reflect on the situation. Every so often, Chris gets an email alert that Barb has sent him money. I have always been under the impression that Barb tightly manages the finances and sends him some money. However, to my surprise, at 12:38 a.m. this morning, so less than 8 hours ago at the time, Barb sent Chris $750. I asked Chris about this, and this is their DMs. Did you ask your mom to send you money? That is probably a violation of the elderly person's protection stuff that she's under right now, because the court told him to not interact with her. And Chris said, I did not ask her to send me money. I have refrained from contacting her and continue to do so. So she sent you money on her own? She did not send me any money. I managed to find blessings in the minimum abundance I needed. Meanwhile, I presently have a little over 5 hours to kill, and both the favorite malls around here, and he's talking about hanging out the mall still. He fucked his mom. He's now done all this shit, and he's talking about hanging out the mall still. And he said, this is a lie. Chris fucking lied to my face. And it shows that Chris got money from Barbara, $750. Do you have control over her bank accounts? And Chris says, yes, I have control. And this was an emergency. I plan on sending the $750 back to her account after when I get $1,000 into my account. So Chris is already planning to get the $1,000 that Joshua was going to send to him, and he's going to use it to pay back his mom for the money he just stole from her. And yes, that's what that is. If you take money without permission, it is stealing. He says that he is not contacting her, which if he did, it would break the fucking conditions that the court set up to begin with, that the fucking officer set up. But instead, he just steals the money, which is somehow worse. It's worse than him asking her. So he's a thief. Again, this isn't the first time he's done
Hank,
this.
what's wrong?
There's a history of Chris Chan stealing money from his mom. The whole reason why the house is in this situation it is with the banks is because Chris Chan stole thousands of dollars from his mom for years to buy Nazi shit for Megan. This is not a new thing. Chris has stolen money from her and has continued to steal money from her for years. I believe this is a violation of his EPO, as he is prohibited from stealing from her. So the EPO is something else. I guess it was saying that he's not allowed to take money from her. I don't really know what EPO is. I didn't have time to research it. Just know that he violated that by taking money. And Josh has notified the police. I've told people on my Twitter they have permission to use my screenshots. I've told people that they have the permission to contact the officers. Noel knows what he's doing. I don't. I don't know how to contact Chris's local police, and I'm not going to try. I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't have the shit to do it. If someone else knows how to contact the police, they can do it and give them my information. They can give them the stuff that I have. And this is the final part.
To appease our YouTube god or goddess, Susan, we're not going to go into the full recording of what ended up happening with Mrs. Christian. Well,
Hank, it's just a squirrel. You can't... Oh my god. Hank, calm down. It's just a freaking squirrel. Oh. Oh my god. Oh wait, where's my... Hank, look, there is nothing out there. Why are you freaking out? Hank, look. Look, nothing out there. Oh, there is nothing out there. Why are you... Alright. What are you? Let's see what you're wanting. If you come and attack me when we go outside, we'll be fine. Hold on, Hank. Hey, guys. Hank, hold on. I need to get a shirt on. Oh my god. Hold on, you crybaby. Alright, I'm back.
To appease. To appease our YouTube.
Before I get back to work, I need to check if the quickie is up. No, it's down. See, I'm nervous to open Discord because I'm just trying to check something. Discord won't even open anyways, so...
Me. On July 30th,
Alright.
audio and text messages leaked between Chris and an unknown woman where Chris confessed to aggravated assault behavior towards his mother. He has since been removed from his house and separated by an emergency protective order, which lasts until August. I guess that's what the EOP is, emergency protective order. EPO, whatever. Sorry, I'm really fucking this up. Until August 5th, the audio and text messages are authentic. Every NW has since been revoked his ticket to the convention. The GoFundMe no longer serves a legitimate purpose, such as I am refunding all donations. No drawing will be shipped.
This is swim charge.
If you received a digital copy of your commission or shout-out video,
No, it's normal
yours
charge.
to keep. I will be deleting my ledger of customer names and addresses after the refunds are finished. This GoFundMe was my test to see if Chris was responsible enough to handle commissions. His success and commitment towards fulfilling these orders surprised me in a good way and indicated that he would possibly be able to stabilize his income and live comfortably off of his work. This recent revelation has a massive black swan event, and I am still internally processing it. And that is everything from all of this that I needed to cover. And I want to thank yet again everyone who super chatted. I want to thank the over 1,000 people who are watching this. I've been really nervous this whole time. I've been stuttering, I've been stammering, I've been fucking up words. I'm not going to edit any of that out because I want this to be authentic. I want this to be genuine. And I wanted to cover more than what anyone else would cover and talk about everything that I could, because I feel personally involved in this. I feel really disgusted like everyone else here. And just know, after this stream, after I play this audio, I'm taking a short break from Chris Chan. And when I do go back to Chris Chan, I will only cover his old stuff. I'm not covering modern Chris Chan anymore. I'm done with the delusional merge. I'm done with the goddess shit. I'm done with him LARPing. I'm done with all that fucking crazy shit. I'm gonna just cover Sonichu and Chris Chan interacting with the trolls after this. I don't want to be involved in any of this fucking shit. Hopefully you guys have learned something from all this. Hopefully no one will give money to Chris after this. This is the full audio that we have right now of what went down. If you guys want to leave, you can leave. If you want to stay, you can stay. It's 10 minutes of fucking degeneracy. So I'm just gonna play this. I'm gonna mute my mic and play this shit so you guys can hear the shit that he talked about.
Yeah, she's got really the G-spot because apparently I don't believe he didn't see any of her past boyfriends and ex-husbands. They haven't really reached and hit her G-spot really
Right.
in their dicks.
Right.
They were more focused on themselves really, as opposed to focusing on her, which that's my focus.
Right? Yeah, true. For at the convention, make sure to have a lot of fun. Make sure to have push with, have a lot of fun with her, right? Because
Obviously.
yeah, because now you're doing this for your mom. Yeah, make sure I'll be there. I'll be there watching you guys, making sure that nobody is trying to. Sorry, my throat. Nobody's trying to hurt you, do anything. I'll take photos of you too. The dance will be awesome. We can take turns. I'd like to dance with her too, and then you guys can take the slow dance or whatever. And
and all the other
yeah.
For the convention
Right.
as well.
But how are you feeling, Christine? How are you feeling? Because I know there's a lot of societal pressure on you about this thing with Barbara. There's a lot of societal pressure and a lot of people, consciously who would judge, and there's a lot of eyes on you. It must be very stressful.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I can imagine. I'm so sorry about all that stuff. Yeah.
Well, still, we still have Magic Chan and Grizel to dance with.
You always have them. Okay.
The incest fanfics have come true and shit.
I didn't even know there was such a thing. I didn't even know there was incest fanfics. Were there about you and Barbara? I can't believe that. I didn't even think that. I knew that you guys had a good relationship, but I just thought, because I'm not huge on Christery and, whatever, I just thought that the whole Sonichu franchise was very interesting, and that's how I got into you when I was younger, right? But I didn't have any idea that Barbara was, that Barbara and you had that sort of relationship. I never got any of those vibes. But how did you approach her?
Approached her with care and caution.
Hmm?
It was a time approach. So I just gave her comfort and talked with her, and we just branched out slow and steady. And then I encouraged her positively. Let her make the first move. She wanted to do it. And
She did? Really? She made the first move?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Wow, Barbara. How did she do it, if you don't mind me asking? What was the first move?
I don't remember exactly. But that was her first move. But my approach was, I forgot exactly what terminology and approach I used. But I approached with care and caution.
That's good.
And I was direct and upfront with her for the most part.
That's good. And how did she respond when you approached her? What did she say?
I don't remember exactly what she said, but it was I think she was partially confused at one point, but then she came around obviously with more approaching than I was doing with her along the way.
Right. So she got into it. How was the first kiss? You kissed her? How did that feel? Having known this woman for your whole life, how did that feel?
Oh yeah, I mean it was simple. lip kiss content. But yeah, it was actually good and it felt right.
When did